Hey, YouTube. So I was downstairs thinking, because I just got finished making me something to eat, right? And I was downstairs thinking to myself, and for some reason, I was just in the mood to like watch some the Clark sisters videos. And, like sometimes I just get in the mood to do something gospel related. Sociology, psychology, and for some reason, like I said, I was just in the mood to watch some of the Clark sister videos. And for some reason, I was just deep in thought thinking about a lot of different stuff. And I thought about reasons why I don't go to church, reasons why I don't agree with certain Christians, and a lot of other things that really bothered me throughout the years that I don't really talk about. And then, sorry, I'm over here looking at my iPad as well. And then I thought about when I was watching R. Kelly Trapped in the Closet and how his storyline played out, how he had the woman his character was sleeping with, who was married to, I guess, a deacon or a pastor, whatever the case may be. Come to find out that she's cheating on him, he's cheating on her with a man, and he's asking for forgiveness due to him being in love with men and all this other Who Shot John. So yeah, I was just deep in thought about a lot. And I was like, damn, there's plenty of reasons why I don't go to church. And it took me a while. It did. It took me a while. So anyway, when I was younger, I used to go to church because my pop on my stepdad's side worked at church. He had his church somewhere in the Southwest, and we used to always go to that church. I don't remember if all my family used to go to that church, but I know we did. And then it just got to the point where I will always be the one acting up or whatever the case may be, and then just out of nowhere, we just stopped going for whatever reason. I guess, and most of it had to do with me always acting up when we went to church. As I got older, I could have went to church plenty times, even if that meant going by myself. But it just got to a point where during Sundays it'll always be cleanup day or whatever the case may be, but it was just never at church for a long time. For plenty of years. I don't even remember the last time I even went to church in my childhood. But all I know is it's been a long time. And it just got to the point where we just stopped going to church. And the only time I'll be in church is if we was going to go see Pop and he was working that day, or maybe if we was at a funeral and the funeral was happening at a church. But other than that, it'd be no church for a long time. And this is the God's truth. It'd be no church for a long ass time. And anyway, so I was watching R. Kelly. So anyway, oh yeah, I already told y'all. So anyway, by the time I went to Delaware, that was when I went to church in a long time. And I believe I already told y'all this probably on Facebook or on YouTube. Anyway, so when I went to Delaware, I've been to church plenty of times when I was in Delaware because at first my cousin and her baby father family they go to church because they didn't have a lot, and they go to church and get like food and y'all know how churches give away food and gift cards and Pampers and whatever families that don't have it like that need, the church will give it to you. So we went a few times, and then I remember this was like in 2015. Then by like in 2016, that is when we actually went to church. We went to a church service. Um, they go to church because the kids they be in a church program, and us older ones, unless my cousin had a baby, which she probably did, us and whatever newborn would well my cousin her mother-in-law we would go to the service while the kids was at the church program. Then once we done with the service, we go pick up the kids from the church class or whatever, and then we head back to the house. So, and I went a couple of times, but then it got to the point where it's kind of weird, but I stopped going because I just felt like I would always have to go to the bathroom and I wouldn't be able to sit in the whole service. Plus, I don't know, it like something about it, just like although I mean, in a way I was comfortable, but then again, in a way I still didn't feel comfortable. And then like they had these cards, and in the bit, and it would tell you, what do you want to talk about next service or something like that. And now I keep just asking questions about se- different sexualities and how they feel and will you ever be forgiven or whatever the case may be. But every time we go to the service, and I'm pretty sure they didn't read plenty of different cards with people writing they notes on plenty of the cards. We never talked about it. their church was like they could be telling a story about Jesus and stuff like that, and wherever they didn't finish during the first service, we'd end up talking about it by the next Sunday if we went to church that next Sunday. And it just got to a point where I just feel like it was a lot different from what I remember when I was young going to church in Southwest or West Philly or wherever the church was. Um, but I just feel like the big two, the big two things that people need to focus on is they say thou shalt not judge and come as you are. And I felt like people were still indirectly being judgmental. I didn't feel like they fully understood to come as you are. And even though some people may try to have came as they are or whatever the case may be, I still feel like in a way it like I don't know. It just still didn't feel like you could be fully comfortable. So yeah, I stopped going. I haven't been in the church since. Not that I can remember. And the crazy thing about it is one incident happened was I remember the first time I went, I had this wig I got from a beauty supply store. That it was this real curly, kinky kind of wig that I had. And I kind of liked it because I never really went. I mean, shopped at any Delaware stores, and they had Delaware beauty supply stores, and they had some nice wigs. I kind of liked it. It was full enough for the time being, since I ain't had no full lace wigs or whatever the case may be. And it was kind of windy in Delaware, and I didn't want my wig blowing across the street or blowing down the street, whatever the case may be. So I believe I might have used one of my cousin's scarves to try to hold the wig down, so when I'm outside, I don't try to slide off or blow off my head. And every time we went to church, we'd sit in the front row. It'd be like I said, it'd be me, my cousin, her baby father's mother, and one of my baby cousins, whoever was the baby at the time, because the older kids would be in the church class. And I remember as we were leaving the service or whatever the case may be, people was coming up to me talking about some. I mean, is that all your hair? We just kept seeing this guy with a lot of hair in the front or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no, this is not my hair. I'm wearing a wig or whatever the case may be. And I'm sticking my finger under the cap and sticking my finger through the cap so they can see it's a wig. Or I'm tugging it or whatever the case may be. They still trying to act like there's being nice, name it, no harm, or whatever the case may be. So I'm giving hugs, giving handshakes, complimenting people, trying to be nice, whatever the case may be. Because before we went, I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to go because my cousin, she going, whatever the case may be. And she like, oh, this is come as you are. You could whatever you want, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Because I'm all like, damn, I don't know if I got any clothes. Well, clothes that I felt was church worthy. And she like, no, this is come as you are, whatever the case may be. So I made sure I smell fresh or whatever. And whatever I had on, we just went to church, and that was that. The second time I went there, the second, no, I probably went there to church plenty of times, but anyway, the second time that I remember was when the kids got baptized. This time, hold on. Yeah, second time I remember going to that church. I had this pixie wig. It was kind of like a Rihanna pixie wig dug up from eBay. I had this big ass Allen Iverson 76er jersey on. And I believe I was wearing some jeans or whatever the case may be. And the second time I went, I was irritated because it was just like a lot going on during that day. I remember my little cousin's supposed to get baptized. Now, my actual family, a few members from my actual family on my mom's side of the family, because the cousins I was with in Delaware, that's my mom's side of the family. So anyway, but other actual members who, huh? I believe so. I just came from outside. But yeah, so some actual members of my family came, like and it was just like a lot of indirect pain that's happening. I ain't going to speak too much on it. So I was a little irritated, but I still went because everybody was going. I mean, the whole house was empty. Everybody went. There was enough cars, so it ain't like couldn't nobody fit in cars. Everybody made their way of going. So and then by the time we came back to the house, there was still a lot of pain that's going on. So I pretty much was just trying to stay out the way because I ain't had time for nobody drama they bullshit. So yeah, from that moment on, that's the only two times I remember going to that church. And then but yeah, like I'm the type of person where I didn't care. I wear what I want. And by that time I was a big wig wearer. I loved wearing wigs. I wore whatever I want. Nobody in Delaware knew me. Uh, one minute I could be dressed like a boy. I could have a hoodie on, some sweatpants on, or whatever the case may be. And the next minute you'll see me dressed as who knows. I have a wig on, eyebrows arched, facial hair shaved, a male button down shirt, and probably some damn leggings or tights on. I didn't care. I wore what I wanted. Nobody gave a fuck. No one says nothing really. I mean, if they did some indirect shit and just looking at me funny, but I ain't give a fuck. But when it comes to the church, I don't know. I mean, like they're saying, "Come as you are," whatever the case may be. But for some reason, I still just ain't feel all that comfortable. But I just went just because because I wanted to see my little cousins get baptized. Number one, number two, wasn't nobody at the house. Everybody then left. And the crazy thing about it is, even my cousin baby father left, and he hated going places. If it wasn't somewhere he wanted to go, he hated it. He didn't care if it was church, somebody funeral. It could have been a funeral. It could have been a wedding. He ain't care. If it wasn't something that he wanted to do himself, you had to really beg him to go. But I guess because it was for the kids, he that's the only reason why he went. Um, it wasn't really no real baptism. It was just a kiddie baptism. They filled a clear glass bowl of water and they just stuck their hand in it and tapped you in the head. And that was their baptism. It wasn't like they drenched you in a tub full of water or whatever. But it was cute. And my little cousins, they like playing in the word, so they was baptizing everybody. Whoever was standing on stage at the time. They didn't got baptized and they was baptizing. Badass little kids. But yeah, I just felt like, and still to this day I see a lot of videos where it's like people get judged and you got certain pastors that be kicking people out because they transgender or kicking men out because they dress like women. But then I feel like R. Kelly had a point when in Trapped in the Closet, because it'd be a lot of crazy shit happening in these churches, and they want to be so quick to judge and act like just because you in church now, God is protecting you and you have the right to pick on and judge people who's very open with whatever it is they doing, whether it's their sexuality, whether it's the fact that they stripping, they a pimp, they a drug dealer, they probably went to jail for murder, they probably like whatever it is. A lot of people come to church to be saved and try to find a way to be forgiven and learn to forgive themselves. But y'all still judgmental. That's the fuck why I don't like Kim Burrell with her Build a Beer looking ass. That bitch ugly as shit, and she always, and every time I see her in the motherfucking video, she always got something to say about homosexual people. But then the bitch tried to go on the Ellen show and got played. Anyway, I would screen share some videos, but I ain't trying to get copywritten, because the last time I tried to share some videos, they tried to take my YouTube down. Yeah, I was going to do a long video, but now I want to go back outside. I'm bored. Because I had plans on doing this video, but I forgot everything I wanted to say. But yeah, y'all, I'll be back.